Okay, so in this video, we'd like to address the case of RankScoreView when we are not in edit mode. So I'm going to start by creating an H stack, right? So we want to have rank, so H stack. Right, so we want to have the rank. Now the rank is a number, but I'm going to apply ordinal to it. So rank.ordinal. And we have a problem here. Value of type int has no member ordinal. Now I want to use a number formatter, and I want to extend integers. Okay, so we're going to create an extension of integers, but of numeric in general. So for that, let's jump to our extensions folder, which we created a while ago. So extensions, and there's nothing in it. So let's create an extension now. So SwiftUI view, and I'm going to call this numeric extension. Think of a different name, but I think that's fine. And I accidentally created a Swift view, but that's okay. I'll just erase everything and do import foundation. Now let ordinal formatter be of type number formatter, and I'm going to write let number formatter equal to number formatter. And now let's change the style. So number formatter dot number style will be ordinal. And now let's return number formatter. Now in order for it to return, I just have to make it into kind of like an anonymous function. So this is pretty much a function or a closure. So now we have extension of numeric var ordinal formatter dot string, and let's use for. From uses SN number. I'm using for that uses any, so any optional. And for self, we're going to use the self. Now this is optional, so we need to nil coalesce, and I'm just going to use string describing self in case it doesn't really work. So that's good. So now we can go back to our high score view, and now we have rank.ordinal, and let's add a frame with max width dot infinity, and I'm going to duplicate this 3 times, but instead of rank ordinal in the middle, let's have our score using string interpolation, and down here I want the name, so let's do entity dot name, but this is optional, so I'm going to add a question mark uppercase, and let's nil coalesce, give the empty string, although I don't expect it really to be empty. Now let's go down to the H stack, and let's apply a headline to all of the text, and a font weight of semi-bold. And recall that we had a color that alternates, right, using modulo. So I'm just going to use foreground color. And I don't see a tap gesture. So let's add a tap gesture on tap gesture with animation, toggle the edit mode. So currently we're not in edit mode, and that will put us in edit mode. Great. Okay, so I'm going to press Command period to stop the app from running, and now Command R to run it. And let's see what we have so far. So I'm going to play. First of all, let's go back to the high scores. So we see first place with a score of 18. There's Ron. Okay, that's pretty awesome. So it works. Let's go back to the game. Or actually, no. Let's click on this. I tapped on it. And I'm going to change my name to, I don't know, Superman. Whatever. And save. And now it updated the name to Superman. Okay? I'm not allowing the player to update their score or their rank because that wouldn't make any sense. No, but my name is not Superman. My name is Ron, so I'm going to go back. Let's save. The next thing I want to do is actually quit this. Well, we already did that. So that works. That works perfectly. I might change the colors over here just a little bit. So what I'll do is the following. Let's go back up here to the for each. So right here, right, let's fold this. Right after the for each, I'm going to change the list row background to color.black. And applying to the list, I'm going to change the list style to .plain. Okay, so let's run the game again. And let's go to the high scores. So we have a nicer background now. Okay, great. So I also want the possibility to delete a score. And also one thing that I did not mention so far, which you may have come across, there is a bug hiding in this app when we randomly generate numbers. Because when you randomly generate numbers, you need the range to be non-empty. And sometimes it is empty. So we're going to have to go back to generating the numbers. So let's try to trigger this bug. It might be difficult because we need to play for a while, and it's a kind of a rare occurrence. That's one thing that we need to be aware of, that sometimes we think everything is fine, and only much later, in extreme cases, we find a problem. So far there's no issues. But in very rare cases, this program will crash, so we'll have to address this. But this has nothing to do with the high scores. It has to do with the way we're generating new values. So let's just go back to our game. And I got quite a high score, so I'm going to start messing up. New high score. So let's say Bob. I should write Ron because it's me, right? It's my high score. Maybe I'll just write Ron. Okay. Again me? No, let's just do someone. Someone. Or let's see what happens if I don't enter anything. Let's try not entering anything. So save. Let's go to the high scores, and it's a none, and that's what I wanted. And notice the different colors. Let's try to play again. So game over. What happened? My score was 0, so it wasn't added to the high scores. Let's play again, but this time let's get a positive score. And hopefully it won't crash in the meantime. Okay, now I'm going to start messing up. Oh, well, I need to get more points, actually. Okay. New high score, a none. It remembers my name, right? So I'm going to call myself Bob this time. Should use my own name. Let's go back to high scores. It was added, and let's think, Bob didn't do very well. I mean, me, Bob, right? Got 10 points. That's not an improvement, but it's still in the top 100 scores or 10 scores, whatever maximum bound we chose. So it would be wise if I would lower the bound. And notice the colors are alternating. So let's play again. I hope it'll crash sometime, but it's not crashing. But that's just a part of programming that, sometimes we think everything's perfect, then we find out, no, it seemed perfect, but it wasn't. So I'm gonna, Okay, I'm just going to do Ron again. So I'm changing my name back to Ron, or you know what? No name. But notice it remembered the name Bob, so I didn't really have to retype it. Save. This will be an anon. So yeah, and notice the ordinal is so nice and the colors are alternating. And I can use a different color list, and these will repeat themselves at some point, right? I'm gonna play a little bit more. Okay, let's start losing. Anon. Let's go to the high scores. See, and the next color, if I'm not mistaken, should be blue if we only had 5 colors. And notice the game started over, right? So I'm gonna play this awesome game. And of course there's room for improvement, maybe adding some more, different animations or levels. So anon again, let's look at the high scores. And cool. So it really works nicely. Great, so let's take a quick break here. Have an amazing day and see you next time.